Picture this. You're sure you left your keys on the kitchen table. You can almost see it. The sound, the light in the room, the exact spot. But then you walk in, and the keys are actually in your jacket pocket. You didn't just forget. You remembered the wrong thing. And that's the weird part. Your brain wasn't empty. It was confident. So the real question is, how can your mind create a memory that feels completely real, even when it never happened? And even stranger, why does everyone do this? Today we're going to find out why your brain creates fake memories. And by the end, you may never fully trust your own memory again. Most people think memory works like a camera. Something happens. Your brain records it. Later, you play it back. Nice and simple. But that is not how memory works. Memory is not a video file. It's more like a reconstruction. Every time you remember something, your brain has to rebuild the event from pieces. Pieces of what you saw. Pieces of what you heard. Pieces of what you expected. Pieces of what someone told you later. So when you remember something, you are not replaying a perfect recording. You are rebuilding a story. And whenever a system rebuilds a story from fragments, it can make mistakes. That's why false memories happen. Not because you're lying. Not because you're making things up on purpose. But because your brain is trying to help. It fills in gaps. It smooths over missing pieces. It makes a rough memory feel complete. That's useful most of the time. But sometimes, it becomes a problem. Your brain hates incomplete information. If you saw a scene for only a second, or if you were distracted, or if the event happened a long time ago, your brain doesn't like to say, "I don't know." Instead, it guesses. And the guess can feel just as real as the truth. That's because memory is built for usefulness, not perfection. In real life, it's usually more important to remember the general idea than every tiny detail. For example, you may not remember the exact shirt someone wore, but you might remember that they looked professional. You may not remember every word of conversation, but you remember the mood. You may not remember the exact shape of a room, but you remember it felt like an office. That shortcut saves time, but also opens the door to false memory. Because if your brain is using patterns and guesses, it can accidentally invent details that were never there. One of the most famous ways scientists study false memories is with something called the Dees-Roediger-McDermott paradigm. That sounds complicated, but the idea is simple. Imagine you see a list of words: bed, dream, rest, night, pillow, snore, tired. Then later, someone asks if the word sleep was on the list. A lot of people say yes, even when it wasn't. Why? Because the brain notices the pattern. All of those words point towards sleep. So the mind creates the missing center of the pattern. It doesn't just remember the list. It remembers the meaning. And that meaning becomes powerful enough to feel like a real memory. This is a huge clue. Your brain often remembers the gist better than the exact details. And gist is where false memories can grow. This leads to one of the biggest reasons false memories happen. Your brain stores two kinds of information: the exact details and the general meaning. The details are fragile. The meaning is sticky. So when details fade, the brain still has the general idea. And if the brain has the general idea, it may quietly invent the details to match. That's why people can remember a whole event in a way that sounds correct, even though several pieces are wrong. Maybe the place was wrong. Maybe the order was wrong. Maybe the person was wrong. Maybe the whole event never happened at all. But the memory still feels right. Because the brain is not asking, "Is this perfect?" It's asking, "Does this fit?" And if it fits well enough, it gets stored as if it were true. Now, let's talk about something even more dangerous. Suggestion. Memory is extremely vulnerable to outside influence. If someone asks a question a certain way, that question can change what you remember. For example, if someone asks, "How fast were the cars going when they smashed into each other?" That word smashed can shape the memory differently than if they ask, "How fast were the cars going when they hit each other?" Same event, different wording, different memory. Why? Because your brain doesn't just store the event. It stores the event along with the language used to describe it. So, if someone gives you a confident suggestion, your memory may quietly absorb it. Later, you won't remember the suggestion as a suggestion. You'll remember it as if it was always part of the original event. That's how false memories become dangerous in real life, especially in situations like eyewitness testimony, interviews, or repeated conversations. There's another trick your brain falls for: repetition. The more you hear something, the more familiar it feels. And the more familiar something feels, the more true it can seem. That's one reason false memories are so sticky. If you hear a claim over and over again, or if you keep seeing the same image online, your brain starts to treat it like a known fact, not because it checked the evidence, but because it recognized the pattern. This is one reason internet rumors spread so easily. Once something gets repeated enough, it stops feeling like information and starts feeling like memory. And that is a serious problem, because a repeated falsehood can become more convincing than a true fact you only heard once. This is where things get really strange. Sometimes false memories aren't just personal. They're shared. A lot of people remember the same wrong thing. For example, the Monopoly man wearing a monocle. Berenstain Bears instead of Berenstain Bears. Luke, I am your father, instead of no, I am your father. These shared mistakes are often called the Mandela Effect. And no, it doesn't mean reality is glitching. It means a lot of brains are making the same kind of mistake. Why would that happen? Because people are all using similar shortcuts. If an image or phrase matches a stereotype, or feels like it should be true, the brain may complete the missing detail the same way in thousands of people. So everyone feels certain, everyone remembers it clearly, and everyone is wrong in the same direction. That makes false memory feel even more real. Because if other people remember it too, how could it possibly be fake? So why does the brain do this at all? Why not just store perfect memories? Because perfect memory is not the goal. Survival is. Your brain evolved to help you navigate the world quickly. That means recognizing danger, finding patterns, predicting what happens next, making fast decisions. A memory system that is a little flexible is useful. It helps you make sense of incomplete information. It helps you act quickly. It helps you avoid having to rebuild the world from scratch every second. But the same system that helps you survive also makes you vulnerable to mistakes. In other words, false memory is the price of an efficient brain. It's not a bug. It's a side effect of a system that is usually good enough to keep you alive. Some situations make false memories more likely. For example, stress, aging, lack of sleep, misinformation, repeated suggestions, emotionally intense events. When you're stressed, your brain may focus on the wrong details. When you're tired, your memory control gets weaker. When information is repeated, it becomes easier to accept. When events are emotional, the brain may remember the feeling more strongly than the facts. That's why false memory is not just a weird psychology topic. It affects everyday life. It affects news. It affects social media. It affects courtrooms. It affects family stories. And it affects how we remember our own lives. Sometimes we don't just misremember facts. We rewrite our personal history without realizing it. So here's the uncomfortable answer. Not completely. Your memory is useful. Often amazing, actually. But it is not a perfect record of reality. It's more like a live edit. A story your brain keeps revising. That means confidence is not proof. Feeling certain does not mean being right. And a vivid memory does not guarantee it really happened the way you think. That's why scientists are so careful with memory in research, medicine, and law. Because once a false memory gets inside the system, it can feel as real as truth. And that is exactly what makes it so powerful. So the next time you remember something perfectly, pause for a second. Ask yourself, did this really happen this way? Or did my brain fill in the blanks? Because your memory is not a vault. It's a storyteller. And storytellers don't always tell the truth. Sometimes they improvise. Sometimes they simplify. Sometimes they make things up by accident. And sometimes they turn a guess into a memory. That's why your brain creates fake memories. Not because it's broken, but because it's trying to make sense of a world as quickly as possible. And that trade-off comes with a cost. If you enjoyed this, subscribe for more videos about the strange things your brain does when you're not looking. Because the brain is not just interesting, it's weird. And in a lot of ways, it's still fooling all of us.